Okay, have you ever wondered on who your most people are around you and how to sell to them? Well, today we're going to be talking a lot about the different personalities and sort of dialing into this. So I was going through the comments for connected sales the last few days. Some of the comments were really just going into a lot of the questions on like personalities, who they are, what they are, how to sell to them, and things. So instead of going into some of the other self esteem things, self confidence things, and stuff, we decided to put together this pretty cool workshop today that's going to outline the personalities, who they are, what they are, how to dial into them, the different colors and everything, and sort of what we call the frameworks here at Connected Sales. So welcome everyone. Let's check the links. If you're here, give me a thumbs up, give me a little clap emoji, or give me a little wave emoji. Let's check all of our links here for YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, and we will see we're not quite connected on YouTube, which is fine. We should be. Let's just see where we're at on. Yes, we are all set on YouTube. Let's just check the sound. A little wave. Perfect. We are all set on YouTube. Now let's go over to our Facebook channel and see if we're in. Welcome everyone. If you're joining, perfect. We are Facebook. Where we're at. Great. Yes. And the Instagram might not connect. Stream software go live. I think Instagram's a little tough because they want a new stream link every single time we go live. So we don't have time for that. No worries. We're moving on. And I don't even think the Instagram live video last few days ago, it wasn't even in the channel after. So I guess they got an automatic discard the video or something. And who knows how that works, but I'm not worried about it. Today, we're going to be covering the playbook for each of the personalities. So if you're ready, I'm ready. We're going to be checking the chats. My moderator is here as well. Give me a hello or a wave here on Facebook or YouTube. Much appreciated for the live presence and everything for the last times we've been connecting all the channels and everything. So the real backstory of this is I learned sales when I was like 18 or 19. Got into sales, got into door-to-door sales, met a factory salesperson named Nunzio who had all the sleazy cold sales scripts, the one-liners. He was giving me all the books, the Agmandito books, the Joe Girard books. Joe Girard back then was claimed the world's best salesperson and things. So it really got into memorizing scripts, know your 5 or 7 objections, and just really sort of getting all the memorization in there. So you're almost like a robot, right? I moved to Los Angeles, met a great friend who is a inner prison like gang mediator, and also he worked the hotlines, the suicide hotlines in Long Beach and Los Angeles for the crisis center. So we did a flip 180 life sort of transition for me from going to memorize these scripts, go hard. I was selling gym memberships, and it was a tough battle, right? Back then, selling these things, being yelled at, screamed at, and being threatened in all types of ways. Even got into the mortgage and lending for the banking and stuff at that time. The flip 180, and I think I'm going to do a video in the next one or the week one after too, is all the heart connection, Bob connection, listen, dial in, see the frequencies that they're coming from, and just going in. There was a guy through Brian Tracy who had the 4 colors. I forgot his name, but he was a really fun guy, and he was just all about personalities. We're just sort of learning the personalities, understanding the personalities, how they talk, how they communicate, what fears they have, what how to understand them more. And as I started doing this, I started to understand and love the people I was around more, my friends, my family, my aunts and uncles, and the men's groups and retreats that I was in Los Angeles. So that's really the backstory of this whole connected sales. We go from the sort of sleazy, cold sales processes of like a used car salesman per se, factory sales, to well, I should say, shouldn't to yet, but like selling on the golf course, selling in like pubs and like restaurants, and what would be called bars after work. As far as selling, some of the people Nunzio were selling to some of these people from all the different car manufacturers. Now, it could have been Saturn, it could have been Chevy, Ford, or whoever else was back then, Toyota. So then fast forwarding to Bob. Now, the cool thing is, I'll always say in a lot of my posts, you'll see everyone that Bob really didn't have anything to sell, but in a few words, he was able to move and shift from somebody from ending their life to giving life just one more chance. Pretty phenomenal, right? He wasn't really selling anything. He had nothing to sell. Didn't sell cars, didn't sell high ticket items, didn't sell factory car parts, didn't sell cars, right? It wasn't selling somebody on a membership or a, what would it be called? Like when you buy a car, right? You have to make the payments. I don't know whatever that's called. I was going to say funding, but there's a word for it. When you buy something high price, a boat or a car, right? Those salespeople get, commissions on all the those payments month after month after month. So you sell a car, right? You're actually making commissions 3% or 5% on their payments for the life of that customer. That's the great thing about those type of things, whether you're selling a boat, a car, a house purchase, or what would it be called? A condo, or like a timeshare. So the more people you attract and get in that say yes, right, you're actually getting 2 or 3% month after month, building a residual book and stuff. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's dial in the connected sales 4Ps. Let me open my screen for everyone here. Here it is, the connected sales 4P playbook. If you're ready, let's go into a little deeper on some of the details of each of the personalities. We're going to have a little worksheet for you here. We'll even be able to download this as a PDF, a little worksheet. You can use it. You could use it as a, what would it be called? A cheat sheet or a little guide by your desk if you're into sales. If you're doing Zoom calls, whether you're doing face-to-face calls, or if you're into person-to-person sales, whether you are selling cars, people come in for a service of some type, and things, and you're selling face-to-face. It could be like insurance agencies or anything like that. So master the personalities based selling with proven tactics that work. We were just talking about Bob dialing into the heart. We understand that there's 2 in, 2 outs of the heart. The more we can dial into the personality, are they outgoing or the internal thinking? I was just in a little meeting yesterday, and the person kept saying, like, what do you think? Or I asked you 3 times. It was almost like that response. Well, I was going to say to her, right, that person is a melancholic. He's a thinker. Let him think about it. Make sure he analyzes it. So they're slow for decisions. So this quick workshop transforms how you connect with your prospects by matching your approach to the communication style, right? A long time ago, I had a workshop in connected sales that we were doing a few cool things, and it was called the inner to outer process. Meaning Nunzio's approach was a like an inner to outer. Memorize the scripts. We're just dialing in into the mind more. Memorize the scripts. Memorize your product, your services, your guarantees, your rebuttals, and all that. That's like the internal to outward. Okay, so once you got it, maybe your managers or your sales managers were quizzing you and stuff. Okay, great, you got the approval. Now they getting you on the phone where you got to dial out 100 calls a day, 150 calls a day. You got to go out and do face-to-face sales. If you're like into insurance and like health insurance, car insurance, things like that, you're just going business to business. I remember years ago in my fitness center, we'd always have people coming in that were selling the merchant accounts. Same thing, but interesting thing with all the people that were coming into my fitness studio for the merchant accounts, they didn't really have a good sales pitch. All they really said was, I can get your rates lower, so it's interesting. That's really the best they had. So we're going to be covering this. We're going to learn the 4 temperaments. We're going to spot them instantly and close more deals by speaking their language. Now, what we have is Bob, when we do this flip, is outside to inside. What do I mean by that? Well, we always say in connected sales that one script doesn't fit all, right? We see all these people. Memorize this script and you'll be golden. I don't care if you're in car sales, insurance sales, if you're a real estate agent, you sell cars, you're a coach, you're a consultant, you're selling your coaching programs, your services. This one script is going to sell it all. Okay. So that's sort of the Nunzio approach. The Bob approach was the outside to in. And it was really cool if you reference any of that in the connected sales. So it was a long time ago for the in to out, out to in process. Bob's approach was out to in. Know your customer. Know who you're talking to. Make sure that you see their desk, or are they got a lot of family pictures up? Are they goal oriented? Have their goals up, right? We sort of go outside of ourselves. Know that person. Understand that person. Understand the vibration that person is vibrating on. And then we get into the hidden, like we were talking in connected sales, which we call, when we have a lot of the stress in the anxiety and everything, we call it the teardrops. All right. The teardrops. Know their tears and their fears, their worries, and their concerns, right? And we turn their teardrops into hearts for the connected sales. We turn it into hearts. We smash through the tension, and we get a lot more yeses. Okay, so that was the out to in. Bob's approach: know the person, understand them, have that empathy, or really walk in their moccasins. Right, I just did a whole seminar on walking their moccasins on the 4 temperaments. It was really cool. Okay, so if we're there, let's move on right here, and we're going to get right into the four temperaments for today in the frameworks. Okay. Every prospect falls into one of the 4 primary temperaments. Each has distinct triggers, preferences, and decision-making patterns. Masters these 4 types, and you'll never struggle to connect again. Isn't it wonderful? We have a 50-50 shot, right? I just did a whole YouTube little videos on a 50-50 shot on the Connected Sales program, meaning we have 2 in and 2 out, right? As far as the heart is set up in 4 ventricles, 2 in, pumping in, getting that oxygen into your heart, and then pumping it out to your veins, your hands, and your fingers and stuff like that. So we got a 50-50 shot if they're a powerful, a playful, a perfect, or a peaceful. One thing I love about connected sales is all you have to do is say we got 4 Ps. And that's why for this a little mini workshop today, it's just dialed out in the 4 Ps. You don't have to say, who was that? What was that? It's pretty simple for the 4 temperaments. We got the powerful, so we just do Ps. But the powerful, the playful, the perfect, the peaceful, right? the four P's. So we never question, all right, as far as like a sanguine, a phlegmatic. Oh, what was that? Oh, so it's pretty simple. We just memorize the four P's: a powerful, playful, perfect, peaceful. Who are they? What are we gauging? How are we understanding them? And then we mirror them. We match their vibration. We slow it down a little bit. We pause. We think, or we speed it up when we talk about, action and stuff. So let's cover this really quick for the powerful choleric. Results driven, direct. They're fast paced and they hate delays and fluff, and wants to wants to control quick wins. Okay, and then we move into the playful sanguine, energetic, social, ideal, folks seeks recognition, loves interaction and visibility, loves groups, loves being the center of the attention, buys a lot of the flashy stuff and things. When we go into a webinar or a seminar or a weekly retreat, we know that the sanguines are the fun people, right? They're around a lot of people. They like to be the center of the attention. But when we're talking with them as well, we may have to make sure that they are recognized in a lot of ways. We move on to the perfect melancholics. The perfect melancholics are the square, right? Analytical. They're detail oriented, quality focus, and needs data and time and process thoroughly. I was just working with one of my clients, and we were working on dialing into the melancholics, the perfects, and how to do that without any slides. He was in a sales position that he was trying to sell people without any slides, without any visuals. And we went through that. Really cool. There's definitely ways we can tap in to all these personalities without any visuals, even though, right, the perfects love graphs, charts, analyticals, writing things out, and thinking things over. Right. Perfects also take the longest time. I remember years ago in the 90s, my music program, I had a person called Marvin that took forever to buy certain things. But let's just say over a 5-year period, he was one of our top customers. Month after month, he was buying our like CDs of the month for our music things. He was buying our big packages. He came out, flew on to Los Angeles for a weekend retreat. It was really awesome. But get him to sign or say yes over a quick call or a little outbound call was impossible, right? He'd think it over. Let me think it over. Let me talk to my wife. I'm not too sure, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So have some patience. Make sure you take your time and give them the comfort, those comfort cushions with the perfects, as far as thinking it over, taking your time, and that sales process. Don't push or force. Then we move on to the peaceful. The peaceful phlegmatics. They're calm, relationship first, family, harmony seeking. They go with the flow, and support is a lot of their vibrations as well. Stability and avoids conflict at all costs. You'll notice a lot of people with the arguments, right? They'll take both sides. They'll try to nurture each other and everything. Okay, so let's break this down individually. Okay, so everyone from this workshop today will have specific each personality and what we're like sort of doing with each one. We got quick tells. They're going to be direct communication, fast paced decisions, results first mentality. They hate fluff, delays, and anything that wastes time. Have you ever noticed that when you're on a phone call and you start a phone call with a cleric, that they hate talking about the weather, talking about like sports teams and what they did last night and stuff like that? They're a little bit more about, hey, let's get to it. Here's what we got outlined for you, and let's hit the road running. What to say to the clerics? Here's the outcome in 30 days or 7 days. The 3 keys, levers, and the fastest path to results. So we lead with concrete advantages and become very, very impact focused, and be specific and quantifiable. All right. So, what to avoid? What do we avoid when we're talking with the cholerics, the powerful cholerics? Long backstories, vague promises. How about avoiding sales? Right. Well, I have a lot of my clients that really nowadays, since COVID, just really don't like sales. They think sales is a lot of anxiety, pressure, worry, fear of rejection, all that kind of stuff. So they tend to not like this, right? Not like the avoidance. Ask, be very direct. Hey, I want to get you started on our program tonight. I have everything laid out for you, and you can let's go with the program that I suggest is blank, and then get their approval. Cut to the chase, like I was just saying, immediate and bring solid proof. No small talk or relationship build up front. Okay, so how to close? How do we close the cholerics? The triangles. Frame, choices, and control. Two options to hit your target, and give them very, very specifics. Right? If we have two options to choose, I know in the fitness industry, which is great, we give them two choices, and then especially for cholerics, a great line to use is my personal recommendation for you to start is. So they like to be led with guidance and goals. This is going to get you blah 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 in 7 days, and things like that. Option A for speed, option B for scale. Which do you prefer? Keep meeting short and confirm. Oh, I'm sorry. Keep the meetings short and confirm, and next steps on the spot. We always say that the clerics love brevity. In fact, we could even start with a sales pitch like this. Hey, Mr. Prospect, Mr. and Mrs. Prospect, I have a 30-minute presentation for you, but I know you are serious about this. I broke this down into 5 little bullet points, right? And we outline those bullet points, and then we go in for the sale. Okay, so any questions with that on the cholerics for selling the powerful cholerics, which is the triangles? Let's move on for this cool workshop here on Connected Sales. We're going to be moving on to the sanguines, the squiggly line. The squiggly line represents the sanguines, right? They're scattered, they're over the place, and they fall in line with a shiny syndrome a lot. So quick tells, energetic, social, ideal driven, personality driven, very colorful. If you're doing a Zoom call with somebody, they're very color driven. They seek novelty, recognition, and love being part of something exciting and visible. They like new things, right? New fashions, new styles, new sales process, new marketing process, whatever it is. Okay. So what to say to the sanguines? All right. The playful sanguine, the squiggly lines. Imagine launching this next week. Here's the buzz and the visibility you generate. See already how capturing that is to the fun of sanguine. We added the word buzz, right? It's the latest buzz, right? It's the latest trend. So that buzzword is really cool. Use vivid examples, colorful examples, things that are going to stick out. Successful stories. Stories are great when we start tying in friends and family. But if you could tell a story on a group, even better for these sanguines, okay? Pictures that are of future wins, future of group, family, hugs, team celebrations, things like that, okay? Past pictures are great for the sanguines, pictures of past retreats, past webinars, past seminars, where there's a group of people and they're all like hugging and giving a high five or a thumbs up. Okay. What do we avoid? Well, you probably already know right now, we avoid the opposite. We will avoid the opposite for all these colors. So what do we avoid? Dry, technical, deep dives or rigid agendas without exploration of space. Okay. We avoid any of the analytical stuffs, the graphs, the charts. We avoid the words that say stuff like your schedule and things that are have a talk or a communication of organization, right? The sanguines are the least organized. We don't want to say anything about organized. We don't want to say anything about a schedule and you stick to the schedule and stuff. So leave room for their ideas. They want to shine. They want their input. They want their recognition. So hit them with a few things, get their response, and then tell them how much you love their response. So how do we close? How do we close the fun sanguine? What we call the P for the sanguine is the playful sanguine. Demo early, spotlight quick wins. Let's try a 2-week pilot and share the victories internally with your team, your family, your whatever it is. And we follow up celebrity recaps and highlighting their successes. Just like we said, add pictures, add retreat pictures, seminar, a group, like fun pictures, anything like that. Okay, that's how we're closing the sanguines. Now we're going to move on to the melancholics. All right, the melancholics for the P is the perfect. It's the perfect square. Okay, the square represents a lot of things. There's some triangles in there as well. So the melancholics are the ones that like graphs, charts, visuals. Okay, so the quick tells, analytical, detail oriented. When you see somebody that's a melancholic, maybe everything matches, maybe everything's clean and sharp. For the men or the women's suits, their dresses, their socks, shoes. So everything's sort of precisely planned out. They're organized, right? Quite opposite of the sanguines, right? They're organized. Things are put together. You'll see them open their calendar and maybe their daily checklist, stuff like that. So those are the quick wins, right? Thorough thoughts. What to say? What do we say to the perfect when we talk about vibrations, when we talk about dialing in to one's like personality? What do we say to the melancholic? So the melancholic, a little slower than the sanguines and the cholerics, right? A little slower, a little bit more detailed. So if you have something that you're sharing with them, just back those words up with, let me show you that more imprecise. I have something that outlines this and this and this and this, right? So we talk about something and then we back it up with some visuals, some graphs, some charts, some research, and things, maybe even testimonials. All right. So what to say? Here's the complete specs. It's a great word to use. Complete specs, the benchmark data, rates, detailed implementation, the plans are great for the melancholics. I plan this out for you. You know what else they like that's not in here? Being on time, but also ending your sales pitch on time. So check this out. I had several different clients selling different things in the vacation. So like the travel agencies and cars, luxury car dealers. And one thing that if you meet a melancholic, that's great to say is, I'm glad you're here with me today. And then we mentioned the time, right? It's 4 o'clock right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this. I'm going to cover this. Next, we're going to do this and this and this. Then I'm going to take you over to the desk. I'm going to outline the 3 options for you. And by 4:30, I'm going to get you out of here, out the door, so you go back to your family, have a great dinner, and enjoy the night. Okay, so let's begin. See how that was very detailed, but they love time, clocks, time work. And if a 30-minute sales presentation is what you got for them, don't run over for 45 minutes. Don't run into like an hour. Planned is planned with them, right? So it's great things to say as far as time, the clock, what time it is, what time they're going to get out. Or you're going to finish your presentation. They love that stuff. What to avoid? Now, share with me in the comments down below because you already know we're doing the opposite. What do we avoid with the perfects, the melancholics? What do we avoid? Anything that's fun. Perfect. That's a great answer. That's a great answer for that. That's right. We're avoiding like the fun, joking things around. Don't say too much about like goals or the end vision. Okay, but that's perfect. So sure, we avoiding certain things. I think that comment was more or less leading to like a choleric, right? We sort of avoid some of the things we say to a choleric because a lot melancholics, like they like to take their time on the sales pitch. So we don't want to sell too quick for the melancholics, right? Details and then thinking it over. Great comments. Great comments. What do you do if both people have a few different personalities? Well, everyone's not 100%. I think we know this over the years. Everyone's not 100%. Even my brothers and sisters, we do some family events and things, and you think that they're one, but they're the other. And you think, my nephews or nieces are one and then the other, right? So, my best answer to that question is this: meet the person where they're at, where you're at. Meaning, like, if you have an event and things and you talk to this person and you find out that they are a phlegmatic, they're laid back, they're just enjoying life, they're going with the flow. And the next time you meet them, which is like today, right? It's at this afternoon, right? And you meet them, but they're totally different. They're a sanguine. They're a little bit more flowing. And they're talking a lot and having the spotlight. We'll meet them right where they're at. And some of the spiritual and the people in the therapy say this a lot too. Don't put post-its on people, right? So once again, meet that person where you're at or where they're at. So you could have known this person for the last 5 years and they come in and they're a little bit more analytical. Meet them exactly as the analytical type. Okay. So did we say what to avoid? Oh, those are the comments. We are going to avoid the vague claims, glossing things over, talking a lot. We're also going to avoid scattered, being scattered, where we talk about one thing, we switch to something else. And then never rush their decision-making process because they think analytical. They think things over, plot things, talk about budget and strategy or, investments and things like that. Okay. So how to close the perfect melancholics. Send structured briefs, compare alternatives thoroughly, and propose low-risk pilots with clear success criteria. We could add testimonials, quotes, statistics, and review data and dates. Very important, data and dates. Invite questions and prove space for analysis. All right, so those are the perfect melancholics. Let's move on down to the phlegmatics. The phlegmatics are going to be the peaceful. The P word on this one is the peaceful, the phlegmatics. Quick call tells. Calm demeanor, relationship first, like family, friends, support. Really great. Conflict avoidance, and they value harmony, stability, and need reassurance that changes won't disrupt their team. So those are some great things. Reminds me of a coaching session I had a few weeks ago where we were working on the phlegmatics and the cholerics and just writing notes and putting things together for my client that they were trying to really get better at. And one thing I love about it is try not to make a change for the phlegmatic. They don't like change, or they like comfort. They like family. They like support. They like feeling secure. These are the phlegmatics. These are the peaceful. So if you have a new product or service, like I was mentioning earlier in my fitness center, we'd always have people coming in trying to sell your merchant services, right? Come in, say, we work with this bank and this bank. We can get lower. I guarantee we could get lower merchant fees. Okay, so that's something new. That would be a change. You don't want to sell that to a phlegmatic. In fact, the phlegmatic sales pitch for that particular thing, let's just say you're going into these business selling merchant services. So you go into the business and you introduce yourself, and we write out some pretty cool scripts on your merchant services, but how much it has created a community for your clients and friends, how much it has grown their networking group, how many people really loved this approach because your merchant service was tied into a little bit more of a community, donations, charitable events, things like that. That would be a phlegmatic way of selling. So let's go into what to say for the peaceful phlegmatics. All right. We'll make this seamless for your team. White glove onboarding and steady support. Zero disruption, right? Going back to that merchant service, right? We would say zero to we can make your transition. Yes, we're going to have lower rates for you, but there's going to be zero disruption. And we're going to do this and we're going to do this, right? You tie on the things that the phlegmatics love, anything about family support, community, and things like that. Paint a clear, low-stress implementation path with ongoing support. I love this. A few of my clients are in the fitness industry, doing yoga classes and some other classes that involve like detox and a little bit more of like the gut health and things. So with the implementation path with ongoing support. So we make sure that we tie in the support and how much the community has grown for your team in the last, who knows, 6 months, 1 year, and things like that. Okay. What do we avoid? What do we avoid? Well, we are already talking about the opposite. So what's the opposite of the phlegmatic, right? It is the sanguine, the squiggly line, right? So the phlegmatic is the peaceful, right? They're peaceful. Well, the opposite is the sanguine, the squiggly line, the outgoing, the person. You'll see a lot of the marriages have the opposites. One person's a peaceful phlegmatic, the overthinker, the analytical person, budget, money, finances, mortgage, things like that. The other person's the spender, the spendthrift that likes spending, likes to have people over, social events, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So what do we avoid on this? High pressure deadlines. That would be the choleric, right? Aggressive language. Once again, that's a choleric. Avoid rapid fire decisions. Anything that feels pushy or confrontational. We avoid being scattered all over the place, and we also avoid new things that might tend to be a change of for them. New flashy things that the sanguines love, whether it's jewelry, purses, fashion. It could be something AI, social media, things that can change things where we can tie it into a little bit more of the phlegmatic and how that would be a seamless process, but it's going to build your clientele, your clients, your sales, your revenue growth, et cetera, et cetera. How do we close the phlegmatics? How do we close the peaceful phlegmatics? Well, we build rapport first. That's going to be very important. We want to make sure we dive in, see what they like, see what they enjoy. Do they like playing music? Do they like playing piano? Do they like hanging out with friends? Do they like playing video games? They like cooking, fixing cars, sewing, quilting, knitting, yoga, fitness. So we dial into them and see what community is around them, right? We build that rapport. If it feels right. So we go into how to close, right? We don't say like, hey, like the clerics, we were putting those lines together. This is my personal recommendation. Let's go with this one. So we change it a little bit on the phlegmatic because the vibration is different. Like Bob would say, did you dial into the vibration? Did you understand that that rhythm of that person enough where they really had a good understanding and a trust with you, where they automatically just say, yes, it feels so right. Let's do this. So the next step is a no risk trial. So that's perfect. This next step is two choices here today. Both of them are no risk trials. We'll handle the setup and the training completely and offer reassurance and social proof. Okay, anything you can tie in for social proof, how well it worked for this team, how well it worked for your last 5 clients, family, friends, and stuff. I always love ending with a phlegmatics saying, we'd love to have you part of this team. I'm so glad today we got you on these 2 programs. Choose one of those, and we're going to invite you to the team. In fact, I'm going to get you a free t-shirt. I'm going to get you a free onboarding session. That's going to be with Jessica or Robert. That's going to be scheduled. And we're going to have you meet everyone in our Facebook or our school community groups and things. So we're just tying that in. Pretty cool. We covered a lot in this workshop so far with the four P's, right? The powerful cholerics, the playful sanguines, the perfect melancholics, and the peaceful phlegmatics. So now we got a little quick references. This is going to be great. This will be a little PDF for everybody. We have these quick reference and openers and closers. Just to go through this really quick, like we were at a weekend retreat. I did a Bangkok weekend retreat last year, and I also did one in Bali, which was right in Icon Beach in Bali. Quick reference, guys, openers and closers. Sometimes we'll do a breakout session. Sometimes we do even the breakout Zoom sessions, which is cool, which you'll have 3 or 4 people, and we just do 3 minutes or 5 minutes, and then we switch people all up and everything, and we go again. So let's cover this. I outlined right here, if you can see this, is the P's, right? So everyone has it. Let me scroll up so just everyone, hopefully, can see all of them. Perfect, right there. So the powerful openers. Top outcome, shortest path, ready to decide today. And the close, Tuesday or Thursday, kickoff. All right, that's quick, sharp, and direct for the powerful. Let's move on to the playful. Picture launch day. Want to see it in action now? And the close, 2-week pilot to snag an early win. Anything that's fun or playful, right? Anytime we could say, picture this, and we just go on and on and on about how playful this is, how amazing this is going to be, so fun. This is going to be so energetic. This is going to be the best time of your life. I never knew that this thing, even though it has like 12 different modules, felt so easy, so great, and everyone just loves everyone because we laugh and we joke and we have so much fun. It's almost like a big party for every time we are doing X, Y, and Z. All right. Now we move into the perfect, melancholics. Okay. So the openers, may I walk you through the data, risks, and the pilot plan? See how I said that? May I walk you through? It's an ask, right? May I walk you through? Do I have your approval for this? They want it safe. They don't want any changes. They want to make sure it's family. Approve the pilot to validate assumptions, then review. We could even add things like family in front. Part of this process is a great family process that we really built in a really great group and community. So approving the pilot to validate assumptions, and then if you review it, we're going to share it with our team. We're going to start your win today, and it's going to be a really great nurturing environment for you. Moving on to the peaceful. The peaceful. Okay. So the peaceful opener, what would make this change feel easy for your team? Once again, easy, effortless. And the close, let's book a gentle rollout with white glove support. We mentioned the word support, family, support, nurturing. What else would be in there? Laid back. This is going to be so effortless for the peaceful phlegmatic. Okay. So we do these role-playing things where we would take out a little breakout session and we just go back and forth for 3 minutes. So I put here, practice opening the lines until they become very, very natural. Go back and forth. We can even play the devil's advocate on a few things. When we're role playing these. The right opening line sets the tone for the entire conversation and demonstration and understands their communication style. Just like we were saying previously, on one of my podcasts and one of my mini workshops. It was the inner to outward, outward to inward. The inward to outward was the nunzio. It was memorizing everything from here up in the brain and then projecting it onto that person you're selling. The benefits, the guarantees, how long it's going to last, the style of the steel and the cut of the diamonds and all that kind of stuff. Bob's approach for the gangs and the prisons and the crisis hotline centers was the outside to in. And that means see who's in front of you. That's outside. Bring it internally to the heart. Connect, 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 connect. Dial in, dial in, dial in, and close. All right. So that's the big, huge difference on here. I put together a little action plan. We could see here. Let me cover our action plan really quick. You now have the framework to read any prospect and adapt and approach instantly. The 4 Ps, we make it simple here at Connected Sales, 4 Ps instead of the names, right? We just do the Ps. Aren't just personality types. They're your roadmap to building genuine connections that close deals. Years ago, when designing different parts of our VIP program, our inner circle program, our retreats and everything at Connected Sales, I started getting into the whole aspect of who's across from the table from us is inside of us as a reflection, almost like a mirror, right? Somebody across from us is a mirror, right? If they're like stressed and worried, right? That's me seeing that I'm stressed and worried. If they're fast paced, rushed for time, that's me seeing where have I been stressed for time and stuff. If they're analytical, I'm seeing where have I been analytical or overthinking and stuff. So that led to a lot of cool different mental shifts and mindsets for Connected Sales, building the rapport, from us. So in Connected Sales, we have 4 chambers of the heart. What part of myself am I going to be dialing into when I'm talking, communicating, and closing that person, across from me? That person is in fact myself. Okay. So if that person is phlegmatic, laid back, how am I laid back? How am I sharing that laid back approach? If that person is a melancholic, a thinker, graphs, charts, details, how am I detailed oriented? If that person is a sanguine, fun, where can I tap in to be more fun, to be more playful, to, even though my pitch is only 7 slides or my slide deck is 20 slides, how can I make that fun, playful for that person? And for the choleric, the powerful one on the dialing into your heart more, right? How can I be more powerful? How can I be more goal oriented and driven? How can I be more action related and set up some deadlines, even though I myself, may be a phlegmatic, the laid back. All right. So identify the type. Listen for the pace, word choice, and the priorities in the first 2 minutes. We talk about this whole listening process, what words to grasp in the Connected Sales, what words match each personality. It's really cool. And the, let's see, are they fast and direct? Powerful, energetic, or social, playful, detailed, or questions, or are they calm and concise and like peaceful? All right. So we're matching, identifying the type. Match your message. So we were just talking about your slide or your slide deck. We're matching it. Even though you have 20 slides to read, there's different things we can do. So we know that we hit home on a lot of the aspects of that person. Okay. So we adapt your pitch to the preference, the results for powerful, excitement for the playful, data driven for the perfect, and I might have did a typo on that, but the perfect is more or less the, I'm sorry, I did put the data and analytical, and the ease for the peaceful, right? The relaxed, easygoing. So we want to speak your language. We all know that we have different verbal speeds and paces of each of the personalities as well. So we could speed up, we could slow down, we could make more pauses, and things like that. Okay. So then we close with confidence. So use their preferred style for closing, give powerful choices, offer playful pilots, provide perfect analysis, and make peaceful feel supported. I think I did that really good on that last one. So I'll recover that really quick, everyone. All right. Use their preferred closing style, give the powerful choices, offer playful pilots, provide perfect analysis, and make peaceful feel supported. And then we follow through with consistency. So you start using the frameworks on your very next call. You could even do it today if it's in the afternoon for you. For today, you could use that as soon as you get the opportunity to for using this knowledge. That's why it's here. All right, we have so many resources and stuff on our YouTube channel or Instagram and LinkedIn for all these free resources, even here, this mini workshop for you. So you can practice these and take immediate results. The last little slide I have here for everyone is the connected sales. Finally, trade pressure for presence. 2 inner, 2 outer vibrations to the heart and not the brain. We covered a lot of things, inner and outer, as far as Bob versus Nunzio, right? Nunzio versus Bob. So I never stop anyone from being Nunzio. You can memorize the scripts, right? Go through it. I know like people memorize go through. If you're an owner and you're a sales manager, right? Your training staff. So I know that you have to memorize scripts. I know you have to put things together, right? You got to rehearse over and over. They got to know the features. They got to know what the ins and outs of each of the products and everything, which is great. But then, right, we're just dialing in to the heart, 2 inner, 2 outer vibrations of the heart. We're matching those, or matching the frequency and the pace of that. Stop Nunzio tactics. So the more we can dial into the heart, the less we are sleazy, the less we are salesy, the less we are like pushy or like aggressive in our sales process. Close with more love, like Bob, dialing into the heart more, right? They always say the heart is closer to the pocketbook than the brain. So we dial into the heart more. We listen more. We understand more. We, see where they're coming from. And just like I've said over the years, we walk in their moccasins. Did I understand you correctly? Am I interpreting this correctly? From what I'm hearing from you, is this and this true? Right? See, all those questions dial back to them. And there's the little link to get into the connected sales programs for the links in the resource for our whole coaching programs for the connected sales, our accelerator program, our inner circle VIP program, and our live workshops, seminars, and retreats. That should do it. That's a good conclusion for today on the 4 Ps for the connecting to your prospects in the sales process. Hopefully this really dialed in for you, setting this up a little bit more clearly. I know on a lot of our podcasts or our interviews or our little mini workshops, we cover a lot of the strategies, and in the messages and the comments lately on some of our socials, they were coming into really saying like, what is this all about and stuff. And a lot of the messages. So we said, let's put together something that covers all the 4 personalities really clearly so people can understand it more, can dial in more, and get an understanding of what we call the foundation here at Connected Sales. The foundation that's going to set up all this heart work, all this vibration work, and things like that. And then, of course, we have the whole inner edge program in the Connected Sales, and that just dials into our self-esteem, our confidence, our mirror work, how we see ourselves, how we present to ourselves. If there's any blocks, any what would be called inner any we call it like blocks or things that are getting in the way of asking for the sale, of your abundance, of your flow of money and finances and things. So the link down below to join any of our connected sales programs and workshops. Thanks so much for joining us here in Connected Sales for our mini workshop today on the 4 Ps. Comment down below if there's any questions that I missed on the comments for our Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, our LinkedIn, and our TikTok lives for today. Have a great afternoon, and we'll see you guys in the next Connected Sales workshop video or our Inner Circle memberships.